What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another episode of our FC26 career mode with the mighty Boro. Today we've got a post/pre-season transfer special as we build for the Premier League, of course, in Season 2. If you're just jumping on at this point, there is a playlist on the channel where you can, of course, go back and check out all of the previous episodes to which we, of course, got promoted back to the Premier League, reached the FA Cup final and had a pretty great first season, it's got to be said, but it will, of course, get tougher from here on in. We've got to build a squad that's fit to keep us in the Premier League, and we'll also try and have a little look around to see what else is happening in our save. But as I say, we've picked up from the end of the last episode, and for some reason, annoyingly, the game won't let me see the standings. So I'd love to run you guys through what's happened in the Championship, in the Premier League, and other parts of the footballing world. For some reason, we can't do that. So I'll just keep ploughing on till the end of the season and see if we can have a little look at what's happened around the world. But in terms of our job security, of course, we are in the perfect position at this moment in time. We expected to fight for promotion. We, of course, did that. The long-term goal was to get automatic promotion, which we did this season, finishing second. And, we were expected or hoped to reach the round of 16 for the FA Cup. We got to the final. So we have done exactly what the board have asked. And, of course, if you remember, we had an unexpected event earlier on in the season to which we were told this season's budget would roll over into next season. Obviously, we've had a huge profit down to promotion, which is absolutely fantastic. But our budget, I think it did say, is 9 million at the moment, 9.3. So if that rolls over into the Premier League, it'll help us a little bit. But of course, we need to hope we're going to get a nice chunky budget so we can build a squad to compete. What I'll do is I'll skip forward towards the end of the season. Before we head into next season, we will have a little run through the squad hub, have a little look at the stats and how everyone's done, the best performers, etc. And then we'll run through who we're expecting to leave and what areas of the pitch we need to improve on next season. So I'll skip forward, guys, see if anything happens between now and the end of June. And we'll be back after that. Okay, so we're at the end of May. A little look to see if we can view the standings, and we still can't, which is super annoying. A couple of emails to look through, as well as some updated scout reports. So, youth players. So we've lost our goalkeeper, Jermaine Draper. We've had him in the goalkeeping department for a while. I must have had an email instantly to say that he was looking to cancel his contract. Think he's ready to be... Okay, so he thought he was ready for the senior squad. That's probably not going to happen now. I've been promoted to the Premier League. He's left. So we've got 4 players now left in the academy. So we're going to need a goalkeeper before we can look ahead to playing in any youth tournaments. So we'll definitely have a little look to see if there's any players coming in. And wow, we are a leading candidate for Newcastle, for Aston Villa. Now, I thought it would be around about now that the manager market went berserk. And, of course, now Unai Emery has been potentially relieved of his duties at Aston Villa. And we're a leading candidate for it. Interesting. Of course, we're not going to take that job at this moment. Eddie Howe might be off. We're obviously never going to go to Newcastle. He couldn't pay me. And Nottingham Forest shock and Postecoglou. Now, I'd love to see if they got relegated, but I can't check to see. And we've got 2 youth scout reports. Let's see if there's anything of note from both England and Norway. So Charles Sharp looks pretty naff. Dexter Howe looks pretty naff. We're not having as much luck in England. Nathan Waller, though, is still the best looking player. On the English side of things, Freddie Woodward, not that great. So we'll keep tabs on Nathan Waller. And we could do with the goalkeeper now, couldn't we? Jonas Berkeland still looking pretty good. Alred Arsene still decent-ish, same as Daniel Haug. Runal Nielsen, not good enough. Olav Andreasen, probably not good enough. Elias Johnson, neither. Rolf Edvardsen, that's better. He looks all right. Thor Anderson is okay. Andreas Bakke, not good enough. Arlid Moore, decent. Sander Hagen, not good enough. Rolf Jacobson, not good enough. And Asbjorn Iversen, not good enough either. Any of these goalkeepers, no. In fact, I don't even think we sent them out to look at a goalkeeper. So, yeah, we might have to probably pull one of our scouts and get him to go and look at a goalkeeper at some point, because we can't play any youth games until we get a new goalkeeper, which is a shame. But anyway, we'll kick on and see what else happens. So the Norway scout operation has been completed. So I think we should look at bringing some of these guys into the academy. A couple more that after another couple of weeks, their potential's sadly dropped. I don't really like anything that's with potential less than 85, although Rolf Helland, he looks good. A striker. Ooh, now then, he looks exciting, doesn't he? He looks exciting. We're gonna bring him straight in. That is the kind of eye-catching youngster that I like to see. Any others? There's some decent ones here, to be fair. I would love a goalkeeper, because at the moment in the youth academy, we've got what we need. Youth. Oh my God, he's 62 rated already. Oh my days. Wow, have we found the next Erling Haaland right here? Now, he is exciting. He is technical. He's got enforcer play style as well. And he's plus target forward. Wow. He's an exciting youngster coming through. Aljani is still very high potential. He still looks good, you know. 15. Faulkner, still decent as well. Hansen, he's got great potential as well. So we've got right back, centre mid, right wing. So a great blend of players there. We've now got a striker that looks pretty exciting as well. So we've got a lot of positions covered there in terms of the scouting area. I wonder if we can now ask this scout to go and look for a potential goalkeeper, because some of these kids are still pretty good, but we have got quite a few in the academy now. So Birkeland, another. I don't mind bringing in a second striker. Unfortunately for these other kids, I think we're gonna leave them there, and if we can, yeah, set him off. And he needs to look for a good goalkeeper. Now, I don't really know what nations normally create good goalkeepers, but we're gonna stick to. Oh yeah, we've got a scout already in. Good goalkeepers. Go France. 3 months. Keep it quick, because we need a goalkeeper pretty quick, don't we? Yeah, just a standard goalkeeper. Well, we can tick both. I think 2 focus roles. Yeah. Try and get a goalkeeper found, and then we can commit to youth tournaments next season. Look to bring in the next batch of players. But there's nothing else really that's happened all that much. Jon McLaughlin's the only player whose contract will be expiring. We're happily going to release him, of course. And, well, there's 5 days left of the season, so we may as well have a little run through the squad now. I can see the standings. Brilliant. About bloody time. So then, guys, before we have a look at the Boro squad, let's have a little look around the world and see what has happened in the world of our FC26 save. So, in the Premier League, Liverpool were the champions on 87 points, 5 clear of Manchester City. Arsenal only finishing 3rd. Tottenham were 4th ahead of Aston Villa in 5th, and unfortunately Newcastle got the last European place in 6th. Chelsea did not make it. They finished 7th, which might put Maresca's job at risk, maybe. Brighton 8th, Wolves 9th. That's pretty good for them, considering where they are in real life. United 10th, Everton 11th, Bournemouth 12th, West Ham 13th, Palace 14th. Forest did survive. In the end, it looked a little bit sketchy, didn't it, towards the end of the season? Look how tight it is. Fulham 16th, Burnley 17th. That was tight. You could have had anyone from 15th going down, but Leeds, Brentford, and unfortunately Sunderland got relegated, so we will not be seeing them in the Premier League next season. As for the Championship, I don't know who's won the playoff final yet. We'll have a little look, but of course we went up with Ipswich, Southampton, Sheffield United, Norwich, and Hull got into the playoffs. Hull beat Southampton, so it's either Hull or Sheffield United or Norwich who join us. Of course, Birmingham fell short. Coventry did too, going down to the bottom. Blackburn, Sheffield, and Oxford got relegated to League One. Quick look, Luton and Cardiff are getting back to the Championship. Luton have absolutely walked that league, and Peterborough, Mansfield, Doncaster, and Bradford going straight back down. The other league we were looking at, the Bundesliga, Bayern walked that as you'd expect, with Leverkusen, Dortmund, and Leipzig not too far behind. In Serie A, I always forget who Lombardia are. I don't know who that is. I've forgotten, but they won the league anyway. With, I think that's, are they the two Milan clubs? It might be Inter, then AC Milan, Juve, Roma, Napoli, Lazio, and that might be Atalanta. I think I've got that right. In Serie A, La Liga, wow, Barcelona beat Real Madrid by a point for the La Liga title. That was a brilliant title race. Atletico Madrid, Real Sociedad in the Champions League, Villarreal in the Europa League, and Athletic Bilbao in the Conference League. Lyon, that might be the Lyon women's team, won the Women's Champions League. What else happened? So, of course, we lost in the FA Cup final. Liverpool won the League Cup final, beating Manchester United. Cardiff won the EFL Trophy, if anyone's interested. And there we go. Wow, so Hull, they beat Southampton on penalties, then lost on penalties in the playoff final. So it will be Sheffield United who will be joining us in Ipswich in the Premier League. Interesting. Blackpool won the League One playoffs. Anything else of note here? Anything in the Champions League? Let's have a little look. Wow, that might be Inter Milan again with a double. At least a double. They beat Liverpool in the Champions League final. Fenerbahce beat Nottingham Forest in the final of the Europa League. So Forest nearly got relegated, but then got to the Europa League final at the same time. Fiorentina won the Conference League, of course. And this Men's International Cup, is that the World Cup? What is that? Yeah, we're in the summer of 2020. This is the World Cup, isn't it? Oh my God, and England are bottom of their group. Oh, Christ alive. Oh, Christ alive. England are going to get knocked out of the group stages of the World Cup. Fantastic. So that's what's happened around the world in our world of FIFA. And in terms of statistically, we won't bother looking at the Premier League stats, but Yoka has won the Golden Boot. In our league, Philogene won the Golden Boot ahead of Colby Bishop. This is a good place where we can look at potential signings. I mean, I don't want to bring anyone up from the Championship necessarily, but Colby Bishop had a fantastic season. I guess Carranza is a decent centre-forward who, well, was in a poor Leicester team, wasn't he? Jeffrey Schlupp, I don't know how that's happened, 22 goals. Akpom will be coming up to the Prem with us. He's on 22. Conway was our top goal scorer with 19. Assist-wise, Jack Radoni up there for Cov, 12. Decent player there again. Conway and Hackney both up there with 10. Sen with 9. Morris with 9. So lots of assisters there for us. Britain with 8. Clean sheet's weird because it only lists outfield play. I'd rather it just lists goalkeepers, but as you can see, we had the best defence in the league, didn't we, by a mile? Boro players galore. And who had the best average rating in the Championship? We're going to ignore the top 3 because they only played once. Jaden Philogene, even though he didn't win the Player of the Season award, is the best player. 45 games he played, an incredible match rating. Sol Brynner's up there for us though, as is Hayden Hackney. Very, very good. So let's have a little look at the Borough squad then, and we will list who's done what and what we're looking to do with every single player. So Callum Britton and Alfie Jones made the most appearances for us, 55 in total. Hayden Hackney was there with 54. We did play David Strelitz more than Tommy Conway by quite a few games actually in the end, but Tommy Conway scored the most goals, so he was more efficient. 22 goals for Tommy Conway, 20 for David Strelitz. Conway with 13 more assists, though. I think that tells you, playing less games, he was far more involved than what Strelets was in the end. Which, yeah, is interesting when you look back at it. Hansen got 12, Hackney got 11, 14 assists for Hayden Hackney. Sen had double-double, 10 goals, 13 assists for him. And I think for a youngster, Morgan Pearce had a very good first half a season, didn't he? 22 appearances, 5 goals. Pretty good, I would say, for a youngster coming through. Aidan Morris, 3 goals, 9 assists, not bad. Whittaker, not too bad stats. But yeah, 34 appearances he made, didn't he? In the end, Britain almost got double-figure assists from fullback. Bangura got 6. So some interesting stats in there as well. But this is what we're going to do in terms of the squad, guys. So I've had a look at the squad, and the bottom line is we pretty much need depth, I'd say, everywhere. Now, without knowing how much of a budget we're going to get, it's hard to say how much we're going to actually need to invest or where we can actually afford to invest. In terms of goalkeepers, McLaughlin is going. He's getting released. And Seny Dieng, I think, is already off. He submitted a transfer request in. So we might be going into next season with only Sol Bryn. I am looking to buy a Premier League level goalkeeper. As great as Sol Bryn is, 66 rated, is not going to cut it in the Premier League. So we are going to look to bring in a top goalkeeper. That is a fact. Left back as well is tough because we're losing Engel. Borges we might sign on. But Bangura is our first choice at the moment, 71 rated. Could do a job in the Premier League, but another area I'd like to improve. Centre-back's not too bad. Now, we are losing George Edmondson, but we've got Lenihan, Fry, Jones, Malander. I think they're 4 very good centre-backs, and I think if there's an area where we maybe don't need to improve, it's there. Obviously, it'd be nice to get a higher rated, 70 rated centre-back, but there are other areas I think we need to prioritise. Right back's absolutely one of them. We've only got Callum Britton there. If he got injured, we'd be screwed. So we're getting another right back without doubt. Dan Barlaser will return and then probably be sold. Midfield, I think we've got a Premier League midfield at the ready. Hackney and Morris are the two. I mean, 77 and 76 rated. It's ridiculous. Kante will, of course, come up with us as well. However, I don't know why he's not listed alongside them. Sferi Nipan has submitted a transfer request. He's been homesick. He's unhappy. We're going to have to probably let him go. So I think a centre midfielder is definitely going to be needed so we can maybe have 4 in that position. In terms of further up the pitch, left wing, I definitely think we need bodies here as well. Hamilton, we might look to get rid of. Burgzorg as well, hasn't played at all. His rating's not too bad, Burgzorg. We've just never, ever played him. Hansen, probably good enough to make the step up to the Premier League. Potentially, though, he needs competition. Gilbert is leaving already as well. So another left winger is needed. Same on the right-hand side as well, you could say. McCabe. We'll see what he's like when he comes back, but we'll probably loan him out again, to be fair. Whittaker, someone we can definitely make money off of. He's 75 rated. Hasn't really ever fit into our team. I think we can make good money, and he's definitely a sellable asset that could help boost our budget. Pearce, of course, coming up with us. He looks like he's going to be a star. So we've got sort of him and Hansen on the left. Sen, definitely good enough to start, but I would like competition for him as well. Brooks, we might loan out. We'll have to see. We've got Marcus Force coming back, though. 71 rated. Yeah, he could. I might give him pre-season. I might give him pre-season to see how he fits into our team. And if he is a good finisher, maybe there's a place for Marcus Force. And then obviously Tommy Conway and David Strelets, 2 good centre forwards. We might look at a third. I think if we can find a 75 plus rated centre forward, that would be awesome. But of course, that could be extremely expensive without knowing what our budget is. So yeah, we'll obviously come back to this and see what our budget's going to be. But the places where we definitely need to make signings in the summer: goalkeeper, fullback, a midfielder, and depth down the wings. And then obviously, if we can add anywhere else, we will do that. And we will send the scouts out, I think, once the new season starts, the second it starts. Because I don't know if I ask them to go out now and I ask for first team quality players, if they will look for championship first team quality players. if we wait till the start of the new season, they might look for Premier League first team quality players. So I don't know if that will adjust once we are officially a Premier League team in-game, in-save. So I'm going to wait just to be sure. That might not make a difference. But that's what we're going to do, guys. That's the plan. So let's head and skip in to the new season, get the scouts set up and ready to go, see where we're at with the Premier League, who we're playing, and maybe have a little look at the manager market as well. Do you? Well, what a time to have an unexpected event. Wages leaked. The wages of all your players has been leaked, creating tension in the dressing room. Keep an eye on your team in the upcoming weeks and make sure no further disruptions to their morale occur. That'll great. That's all we need. We are one day away from going in to officially being a Premier League club, and that happens. Bloody fantastic. The England scout mission has been completed. Oh, I tell you what. A couple of very intriguing players have popped up out of nowhere here. He's got blue hair. He's got blue hair. These three are definitely quite exciting. Lee Burton has come in. Cam. Dean Birch, centre mid. Nice. Very nice. I like that. So then let's move in to the Premier League then. So then we're ready to start Season 2, and we are starting it with, of course, Jon McLaughlin leaving the club on a free. Was never going to stay any longer than a season, really. And plus, you don't really need 3 goalkeepers in this game. So, of course, our season performance review was absolutely spotless, so that didn't really need highlighting. We've got a new email from the board, so we have a budget of £58 million. Of course, that will probably go up a little bit with player sales. So whether that's good enough to help us compete in the Premier League, we'll have to wait and see. I can't wait to use Helland. I'm tempted to just bring him straight up, to be honest. I'm very excited by him. Let's have a little look at the calendar then first, just to see who we play. There we are, look in the Premier League. It just... Look at who's next. Oh my God, look who we're opening the season against. I don't believe it. It's an FA Cup final rematch. It's Man City on the opening day. Oh my God, look at this. They could not have gave us a more exciting start to our Premier League return. We open it up with a trip to the Etihad, and then our first Premier League home game is at home to Newcastle in the Tyne-Tees derby. You couldn't make it up. You could not make it up, could you? Right, first job, is to get the scouts ready and raring to go. So the scout reports have been set up, and this is what we've got at the moment. So the instructions, we've got 6 instructions. They fit quite nicely into what we're looking to do. So this one should be goalkeeper, actually. So let me change that. Sure, I changed that to goalkeeper, but hey, it's goalkeeper now. A right back, a left back, midfielder, right winger, left winger, all of which first team quality. Midfielder I have put back up as well, because Hackney and Morris are good enough. It's our strongest area of our squad, but yeah, first teamers in all them positions, and I think if we fill them gaps in, we will then look to maybe striker or something. We could always, continue to invest. It depends how much money we've got as well. And we've got 4 scouts that have all been sent out across various parts. We've got, I think, 1 scout staying in England. We've got 1 going out to Spain, another 1 to, I think, Italy, and then we've sent 1 of them off to the MLS just to see if there's anything of interest over there. And we'll see what happens there. I think we did actually have a couple of players already scouted that have vanished. I know there's a few from the Championship, like I was looking at Mavididi, I was looking at Fatawu from Leicester. So I'm going to have a little look now at the Championship standings, because I think picking players out of the relegated Premier League clubs is probably a good way of getting them in, and a good way of them wanting to get back to the Premier League. And there could be some good players in some of them teams. So if I can actually get hold of the Championship, which I can't currently, I'll have a little look and see what's in them squads. Well, This is not what we need. No returns. This is a big, big blow. The club is in a difficult financial situation. Any profits you make from transfers completed in this window will not be added back to the budget. With this limitation in mind, make sure you think twice about who you sell and who you bring in. That's a shocker, because when we need to build a Premier League squad and we don't have a budget that's probably as much as we might need, that's annoying. And I was looking at the Morgan Whitakers, and you never know who else, and the money we get from them is not coming back to us. That sucks unbelievably. That is one of the worst unexpected events I think we could have asked for. But anyway, Edmondson, Gilbert, Engel have all departed. We can remove him from the report. Philogene, yeah, could we nick him off of a rival just getting promoted? We'll keep him on there. But of course, Fatawu, Mavididi are on there as well. Gustavo Nunes, a winger from Brentford, can play on either side. Brazilian, looks exciting. Quite quick, good acceleration as well. Hopefully his crossing is pretty decent. Tanaka, of course, is a fantastic centre mid from Leeds. Could be a good alternative to Morris or Hackney, probably to Morris, to help in that more defensive midfield position. This is quite a realistic one, I would say. Frank Onyeka has been linked with Boro quite a few times, I recall, over the years. This would be quite a realistic one. He is 28, so he's at his peak, but I think he's a Premier League-ready midfielder. Another one who could probably help out with the more defensive side of midfield. It's just, a couple of his stats there don't look great, but we'll see. We'll see what his stats are when they come through. Ramazani, an exciting winger from Leeds United as well. Seems to have a lot of the attributes I think we like in a winger. Sharda as well, from Brentford, I think could be a very good signing. And Carvalho was one I saw as well, who I thought, he's a player who's too good for the Championship. Might be more of a centre mid though. Can play out wide. Not too sure if he is the absolute profile. But they're the players I've picked out from the Championship. And we'll see what else comes back from some of the players we've scouted. Max Arsden, of course, we did look at last season. He's not going to be good enough either. I think one thing we might now have to do, if we can't generate transfer funds from sales, we simply have to jump into a pre-season tournament invite. I don't know where we can look at that. We've got 2 offers though so far. Sonjay Hansen's going absolutely nowhere. So we're going to block offers for him. Seny Dieng, as I say, we can afford to probably let go at this point. And we have been. 900k. I'm not even going to mess around with that one. We're going to just accept that bid, I think. And once a pre-season tournament invite comes in, we are absolutely going to take that on, because the more transfer funds we can get, the better. So due to the fact we can't gain funds from player sales, which has massively scuppered what I was going to do with a lot of these players, quite a few players I was going to transfer list, I'm not now. I think we're better keeping them around as potential depth options. I mean, Neto Borges, I think he's probably worth keeping now, since, the only time we can sell him is now, but we're not going to be able to use the money, so there's no point, is there? So we're going to keep Borges. Barlaser, though, we are going to transfer list, because I just don't think he's good enough, and the midfield is fine. We've loan listed Hamilton. We have transfer listed Delano Burgzorg, because I think we're okay at left mid, and we are looking to improve in that position as well. We've loan listed McCabe. Nipan, he's unhappy. He does want to leave, but we're not going to get any money from him. So I think if we can keep hold of him until January, maybe we can get money for him then. But another player we now are probably best holding on to, even if it's for a short while. Same with Morgan Whitaker, a big player. Could get, I think, potentially upwards of £8 million, maybe even more for him. I don't want to sell him and lose all that money now. So he's another one we're going to just have to hold on to till January. And we are going to see how Force does. Again, only a year left on his deal. Is someone we could let go, but, he's 71 rated. He's no worse than Strelets or Conway, really. So, yeah, the squad is looking bigger than what it was probably going to look. And there might not be as much of an overhaul, to be fair, as what we thought they would be because, well, we can't use the money. So, yeah, we'll crack on and look out for any scout reports. And, of course, we'll see if any bids come in for any of our players. An offer's been received for Seny Dieng. I think he's already potentially on his way out, but that's Bristol City who've come in with an even better bid. So we'll accept that one as well. Can we? Can we accept that one? There we go. So you could go to Bristol City. That'd be a good move for Seny Dieng. Offer for Darragh Lenihan from Sheffield United, a fellow Premier League team. I'd rather him be a part of our squad than their squad. So, yeah, we're going to reject that. So we have a departure. Seny Dieng is off. He had negotiations with Trabzonspor that broke down. So I can only assume this is him off to Bristol City, which, as I say, I think is a good move for him in the Championship. Did do well for us last season when Sol Brynn was injured, but wanted to leave after that. So Seny Dieng is the first departure of the summer. We are still looking at a future #1 goalkeeper to be in front of Sol Brynn. Of course, 940k. We're not going to get any of that, of course. And I think that's a decent deal, yeah. An A rating for that. Excellent deal. And we could have got an extra 500k out of it, but what does that matter when you can't use it? Micah Hamilton as well, a loan from West Brom. That's a decent move as well. Elsewhere, we had an offer for Darragh Lenihan. We rejected that. But a loan move for Micah Hamilton, I think that's a great move for him, if I'm honest. We've got a email from the board down to Dieng. So, yeah, the board have allocated £0. Thanks a lot, Steve Gibson. Appreciate that. So the next departure, Delano Burgzorg, is off. Another one we've let go. Because it's just better for the player more than anything. Never really featured much for us. So we wish Delano Burgzorg all the best. He's gone to Birmingham City, which again I think is a good move for him. It's an F. Oh dear, we could have gotten upwards of 2.5 million. I didn't even go into negotiations with that one. I thought, it's in the middle of the ballpark. We could have got more for Delano Burgzorg. So that's a bit of a shame. But nevertheless, the move is done. And to be fair, I don't care what the board think because they're not giving me any money from it. So I don't care how much money we get for these players because I'm not benefiting from it, so what they think. Hamilton is the next one out the door. It seems like he has come to an agreement with West Brom for a loan deal. Not too sure what his future holds here at Middlesbrough. He's not played for us at all, Micah Hamilton, so a loan is definitely the right thing to do. So he joins West Brom for a season. We also had a loan to buy for McCabe as well. We're still paying all his wage. I didn't have any say in how many what the wage situation was there. So I don't know if that's me missing something or what. But there are offers coming in for a lot of our players. McCabe has potentially off with a option loan to buy. Once again, I had no say in this one either. It looks like it's been delegated. So you must negotiate or delegate. Well, I can only reject. Well, I can negotiate actually. But McCabe, he is likely off to Frosinone. We've just negotiated a loan to buy for him, a 2-year loan actually. Before they buy him for just under £500,000, which I think is a decent deal. Leicester City are interested in Dan Barlaser, 1.1 to 2.1. Again, as I say, I might get it. It might be rated as a bad negotiation here, but we're not going to get any of the money. So, yeah, I don't care what the board say. We'll accept that. I think that's a fantastic move for Dan Barlaser. So Dan Barlaser is another outgoing. Trust me, guys, we will get to signing some players. We're still waiting on a lot of scout reports to be finalised. But Dan Barlaser, he had a choice between, I think, Leicester and Basel came in. They matched each other's offer. So, again, I'm expecting this to be a D, E, F. And he's gone to Leicester, which, yeah, makes sense. You'd expect them to be, hopefully, a lot better off than where they were. But we've actually got an A for that, which I'm surprised by. And that was the best deal we got him for. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I didn't go into any negotiations because we'd have probably pissed the opposite manager off, and yeah, I wouldn't have sold him. So we got the best possible deal for Dan Barlaser in the end, which is awesome. And yeah, the negotiations with Basel broke down. As I say, still waiting on a lot of scout reports to come. They should be finished within the next couple of days. And we've got a pre-season tournament invite, which we will have to take up because it will give us that little bit more cash. Neto Borges, by the way, did come into the office and say he wants to move on, wanted to talk about a new contract. It does leave us with one less body at left back, but I've not played him, really. So we've got Sassuolo coming in. They're in and around the middle of what we'd want from Borges, so we'll just accept that because, you know, who cares? And, well, Tommy Conway, an offer from Brentford. They obviously want him to be their promotion leading scorer. 6.9 million, could get anywhere up to 12. That's a pretty bad deal, isn't it? It's right at the bottom end. We're not looking to sell Tommy Conway. We're going to block that. He's going absolutely nowhere. And we now, I think, can pick a scout report. In fact, no, I think this is... I was going to say pick a scout report. Pick a pre-season tournament. But first of all, we're going to be wishing Jon McCabe well. We won't be seeing him again. He's on a 2-year loan and then an option to buy afterwards. I think he's like 58 rated or something. We've got much better youngsters coming through our academy, which is a shame because I actually really rate Jon McCabe in real life. But we've got a good deal. They're covering most of his wages. But yeah, as you know, centre midfield, we're stocked, aren't we? At the moment, stacked. So let's have a look then. We're going to probably just go with the most expensive to get as much money as possible. So probably the European International Cup. Some big clubs in there. Is that Frankfurt, potentially? Valencia, Leipzig, they'll be favourites. That's a really exciting one. That'll test us. That will. So we'll do that. And, well, we've got a game in a matter of days. So I'd like us to maybe get a few players in for then. And there's been another bid for Neto Borges, Sassuolo, the same place where I think we've already had a bid from Sassuolo for one of our players. No, it's Trabzonspor. Yeah, it was Dieng. He didn't end up going in the end. We'll accept that, though. Happy for Borges to just pick wherever he wants to go. But we've got a couple of updated scout reports, which we will definitely look at. And, well, there we go. We've got Valencia, Leipzig and Osasuna in the pre-season friendlies. They're pretty exciting. I think I will play them just to get a feel of the team. I probably won't show them on screen, but I do like to play these games just to get a feel of where the team is at. But, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where hopefully we'll get a little bit of extra cash. The budget is... I don't know if it's gone up. Initial budget 58 million. I'm sure when I was in negotiations it said 63. Yeah, 63 million. So I think that should definitely help us improve the squad somewhat. So hopefully with a couple of scout reports coming in, hopefully completed very soon, we'll be able to start making some moves in the transfer market. And another departure, getting rid of the deadwood it seems, Neto Borges. We were looking to keep him, but he wanted to move on, and we granted him his wish. Didn't play for us. We did recall him last season, of course. Yeah, it's a shame. I like Neto, but a bit like in real life, I don't think his future is at Boro anyway, and he has got the move he desired. So we definitely need competition for Alex Bangura now. He's gone to Sassuolo in the end. He did have the choice of a few clubs. What was that deal? Oh, an A. Fair enough. I wasn't quite expecting that. Could have gotten a bit more. An extra 100k could have squeezed out. But, yeah, definitely need to look at depth there now. Max Force. He wants new wages. We need to see how he feels when we play him, to be fair, until we commit to Marcus Force. We've got a couple of updated scout reports that look like they're finished, which is pretty cool. So we'll take a look at that. We have been filling up our shortlist with a couple of really exciting players. Obviously, the main areas of the pitch are fullback, centre mid, and wingers. The two right backs that have stayed on the transfer shortlist are the two that I think we're going to end up probably looking at. Competition with Callum Britton. I really like the look of Alex Jimenez, so I think we're going to probably look to bring him in. Wing back, got good pace, decent sprint speed as well. Looks like a solid young player with potential as well. Obviously, on the wing, we've got Fatawa, who we've liked the look of for quite a while. He is going to be quite expensive, though. 18.5 million potentially we have to spend on him. On the other side, Mavididi, not as expensive, but he is 28. Kevin Schade, a player I'd really like the look of, but he's upwards of 20 plus million. That's a lot of our transfer budget. The one I might go for instead is Ramazani. He looks really, really good. He can play as a winger or an inside forward, so he can play on either side. Great agility, balance, sprint speed, what we like in a winger. All of his other stats are mid-70s as well. I think he's a pretty solid player. He's got the finesse shot, he's technical, quick step. Yeah, he looks like he's perfect for us. And in terms of a backup to Hackney and Morris, Onyeka looks decent as well. He won't cost us much at all. Look at all the traits he's got as a holding midfielder. And he's just solid. All of his stats are pretty much high 70s into the 80s. He's got the stamina that we look for in a midfielder. He looks all-rounded, to be honest. So he's someone we're going to look at. And I really like Tanaka from Leeds as well. He's the more expensive choice between him and Onyeka. He is better, he is younger, so we might try for Tanaka first. He is probably just another version of Onyeka, just better. You know, his stamina, his agility, some fantastic stats across the board there. Great passer as well, press proven. We'll probably need that in the Premier League, so I think we might splash the cash on Tanaka. There is also a goalkeeper we are looking at as well. I'm really, really hoping that he's not too expensive, and it's Bayinda. 76 rated. 76 rated goalkeeper. Contract expiring in a year. I think he would be a brilliant goalkeeper for us to bring in. A huge upgrade on Sol Brynn, and will not cost us much at all. There's a couple of others I'm going to look at and try and add to the shortlist, but we are certainly building a decent shortlist of players. Okay, so we're going to have a little look at Bayinda from Manchester United, 76 rated goalkeeper. He's, I think, in the last year of his contract, could get him as cheap as only 4 million for 76 rated goalkeeper. I don't think that's too bad. So we'll see what Man United say to this. I don't know who they've got in goal currently, but you wouldn't imagine Man United would want a goalkeeper who's only 76 rated. So we welcome Ruben Amorim into Rockcliffe. And I mean, yeah, 4 million is what's been mentioned. I think that's a huge upgrade and a fantastic position. We won't insult them. 4.1 was what was mentioned, but we'll go in at 4.5 because last year of his contract, 28, I think it's still a decent age for a goalkeeper. And well, they're happy with that. Bayinda, straight away, United, they seem like they're happy to part ways with the goalkeeper. They'll want a fee for him, of course. And £37,000 a week is what he's on at the moment. Our highest rated player, Hayden Hackney's on 35. 35 rated, £35,000 a week. He's 77 rated, I think, now, Hayden Hackney. So, yeah, it's not too bad. Obviously, Bayinda. I think we soften him up and just say crucial. He's the first choice goalkeeper, and goalkeepers don't get injured on this game, so I can't see that changing. That should soften the beginning of these negotiations. In terms of contracts, let's say goalkeeper 28. I think you can go into his early 30s without a problem here. So I'll say 4-year deal. Don't see why that would be an issue, taking him to 32 years old. And now we look at the all-important wage. Yeah, I'm more than happy to have no release clause. So he's on £37,000 a week at Manchester United. I think we can match that, you know. I don't think we insult him and drop his wages. I think, considering we're a newly promoted side, to match his current wage, I think is quite important. And maybe we'll soften it with a £600,000 signing on bonus, and you can't go wrong with a clean sheet bonus for a goalkeeper. We'll add an extra 600k if he gets 10 clean sheets, maybe. You know, he's not losing weekly wage, and that's reasonable. Brilliant. So we've got a new goalkeeper. Bayinda is going to be our number one, with Solbrin in behind him. And of course, if we were to need a third choice, we could find any old third choice goalkeeper. But honestly, in this game, goalkeepers are invincible. So we don't need to worry about that, I don't think. Here in Hackney, welcoming Bayinda to Rockcliffe as he goes through his medical. Hackney and Morris welcome him to the club. And yep, you know, we've gone from a 66 rated goalkeeper in Solbrin to a 76 rated goalkeeper in Bayinda. And there he is, he's the number one already, straight through the door. And I shouldn't have the championship text, should be the Premier League font on the back of that shirt, surely. So there we go. Altay Bayinda, welcome to Middlesbrough, our first transfer through the door. And very good. Excellent deal. Can't see him improving too much. Maybe he might go up to 70, 77, 78 possibly. But best possible deal was 4.2. We went in at 4.5, so yeah, not bad. Solbrin will be the backup. The second position we're going to look at is this guy, Jackson Chichoa. A little bit more expensive. Wages, I hope, aren't a problem. But what an upgrade this would be. Callum Britton, 73 rated. Of course, Chichoa would be even better. I mean, yeah, he can play in a variety of ways. Full-back, wing-back. He can even be a playmaker. We like to have overlapping full-backs. I mean, look how quick he is. He's agile. He's got good stamina. 82 crossing. I like the look of this. 14.3 million. We might have a chance. So, obviously, we want to upgrade in all areas if we can. We've only got the one right back at the club, being Callum Britton. And it would be a shame, you know, a lot of the players we've got who've come up with us, you know, no longer being the starters, but it's the way it is. I think they said 14 million to start with, didn't they? So, I think it was 14.7. So we'll start with that. Oh, so they've upped it to 16.3 million. He's 25, so I wonder if we could bring that down to maybe 15.5, and with him being 25, had a cheeky sell-on clause there, because yeah, he could still sell for a little bit more. We're happy to meet in the middle. I mean, I know they've upped it to 17.5 with no sell-on clause. That is not what we were looking at. We are needing him. 16.5, and they don't want a release clause at all. Oh, I'm really hoping we can meet in the middle here. It's a little bit more than what we were hoping to spend. They are adamant. They want to go at 17.5. Come on, work with me at 17. Come on, Pereira, stop being stingy. They are desperate. They want £17.5 million for Chichoa. We're going to have to just suck it up, I think. And he is a 77 rated right back. So it is fair. He's on a lot of wages though, so we'll have to be very wary of what kind of wage he wants. If we can maybe get him down towards 40k, that would probably make a little bit easier on the wage bill. But I think at 77 rated, he will be a starter, of course, for us. I'll start at important just to take the pressure off. Hopefully that'll be enough. No, he wants crucial. Yeah. Makes sense. 4-year deal. Happy to accept that. Take him to 29 years old. We don't want a release clause, of course. Now, this is where things get interesting with the wage. We don't want to insult him. He's on 41 at the minute. We'll say 42 and try and soften it. 750k signing on bonus. This could be a risky player. He would be the highest paid player at the club. No, he's happy. Right, okay then. Fantastic. We've now got an upgrade between the sticks. We've got an upgrade at right back. I'm already pretty set with how we are at centre back. Obviously, left back is another position we are still looking at. But yeah, he's quick, he's pacey, he's a good crosser of the ball. If we can improve him defensively, only a little bit, I think we've got a very good all-rounded right back there. And there he is, Chachua. We will be changing that squad number. He won't be playing full back number 4. I really hope the Premier League font is on the back of the shirt, because we've got a Premier League badge on the front, on the sleeve, but then EFL font on the back. I really hope that's not a bug. But anyway, let's see what the board think of that, because, yeah, I think if we can build a squad full of players that are mid to high 70s, I think we're set. And, oh, yeah, we've been, maybe Wolves have squeezed a little bit more money out of us than what we wanted. We went in around 14.3, but yeah, Wolves have squeezed a little bit too much cash out of us there, haven't they? We'll still keep an eye on these two lads. So I do like these. They can play at left back. I think the other player I think I'm wanting to go in for at this moment, it's one of the CDMs. I mean, Ramazani is someone I like on the left-hand side to compete with Sonjay Hansen. I mean, he's so versatile, can play on either side. I like Ramazani a lot. And Tanaka as well. We're raiding Leeds United of players here, I think. So we'll speak to Ramazani. Oh my God, they see us as a rival? Leeds? Oh, that's going to be the same for Tanaka then, isn't it? That sucks. I can't believe Leeds see us as a rival and they will not negotiate. Ramazani and Tanaka were two players I really like the look of. I guess Onyeka could be a decent backup for Aidan Morris then. Because we've got Nipan and we want to keep hold of for now at least. We could always look at upgrading there in the summer. But Hackney and Morris then might have to be the stars. I thought Tanaka would possibly be a starter alongside Hackney. But as it happens, Leeds see us as a rival. How about that? We could get Onyeka for 3.8 million. And this is quite a realistic signing. I recall Boro being linked with Onyeka a few times in the last couple of seasons. So, what did it say we could get him for? I think it was in the 3s, wasn't it? We'll start with 4 million because I think he is potentially in the last year of his deal at Brentford. So I think, okay, 4.4. So we're not probably going to get him as low as what we could do. We'll try and... Oh no, I meant to go 4.2. Did not mean to submit that. I was going to go in at 4.2. Never mind, we're going to be paying a little bit more, I think. So we might not get the best deal, unfortunately. I think we could have got him for 4.2. Never mind. He is an experienced Premier League player. I think the perfect player to come in as backup for Hackney and Morris. So he's on 40 grand a week. The only thing is squad role. He will be playing behind Hackney and Morris. Rotation might not work for him, but I'm going to try it and be cheeky. Please don't walk out. Crucial? I can't promise you that. You are not starting over Hackney and Morris. You're just not. Oh, this is a problem. I can't promise him that he's going to be crucial. But I'm going to accept it. I might live to regret that. We're going to have to bring him on in quite a few games, I think. Rotate the team around him and Hackney and Morris. I mean, he is a 75 rated player, isn't he? But he's not as good as the two boys we've got currently. So I've took a bit of a risk there. No release clause. He's on 40 grand a week. I don't want to put him on more than Hayden Hackney, who's on 35, but I'm going to probably stick him on the same just to be safe. And we'll go with 600k once again. It's a slight drop from what he was on. Oh, they want a bonus for 5 appearances. Okay, for the sake of it. So Onyeka joins us and adds that little bit of extra depth in midfield, which we were also looking at. And it does feel like a relatively realistic signing as well. So there he is, number 14, Onyeka. Expecting a B from this, maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought we could get him for 4.2, and I clicked the wrong button, which is my fault. But, you know, last season we were looking at upgrading on, you know, Alan Brown, who we had, and we've got Cantor. We could have gone for 3.8. Oh, God, we're not doing really well here, are we? We're losing out on money from from clubs that we should be doing a bit better with, I think, when it comes to negotiation-wise. So, yeah, we've got the goalkeeper, we've got a right back, we need a left back, and we need wingers. We've got plenty to choose from. I mean, we may as well remove these Leeds players from the shortlist, which is really, really frustrating. Still looking at the Leicester lads potentially. Fatawa was just going to cost way too much, unless we have money to spare at the end of the window.
Whistle, not what the home fans were hoping for before a ball was kicked today. Defeat for them.
So the first match of pre-season over. We've just lost 2-0 against Leipzig. Goals from Openda and Werner. Not a great game, I'm going to be honest. We were fairly toothless going forward, and we struggled up against their extremely pacey forward line. So there's possibly a slight warning sign there that we need a bit of pace in defence, possibly. Callum Britton blocked that. He is not for sale. So, yeah, a little bit of food for thought there with that defeat. I think Leipzig, possibly the toughest team we're going to play of the four. Frankfurt, Valencia. Valencia could be tough. And Osasuna might be the other team. So, yeah, not the best start. We certainly have to improve because, yeah, we barely created a thing. Well, this transfer window just keeps getting worse. Firstly, we, of course, couldn't use any of the money. We couldn't use any of the money that we got from outgoing transfers to start with. Now we've had a budget malfunction, to which £15 million of our transfer budget has temporarily disappeared. Meaning, we thought we only had 29.8 million left of our budget. We actually only have 14.8. The club is working tirelessly with the bank to resolve these issues. What more could go wrong, guys? We can't spend money from sales, and now half of the budget's gone, which is massively going to affect the business we can do at this moment in time. Unbelievable. It's just all going wrong at the moment in this transfer window with the operation of Middlesbrough Football Club. But we will plough on. We're still looking for a left-back. One's not come in yet on the scout report that we're particularly fond of. And we're still trying to find the perfect wingers to compete with Sen and Hansen. What I'm thinking of doing, to be honest, because I want to kind of have two wingers that are also strikers. They can finish as well, like Hansen and like Sen, instead of having wingers that are quick but can't finish. Obviously, Mavididi and Fatau I'm fond of, but they're left-sided players who want to play on the right. They're inside forwards, essentially. What I've thought of doing, since we can't sell him, and since if we did sell him, we're not going to get any money for him, I thought we may as well utilise what we've got. With everything that's happening at the moment, I thought, well, I've got a 76 rated right-sided winger who's left-footed in the team. And we can't sell him, we can't make any money from him, and he's pretty darn good in the game. So you know what? We're going to utilise him. So I've converted Morgan Whittaker to a left winger. He can compete with Hansen on the left-hand side. And maybe the answer's already there, because I don't think, as well as everything else we want to do, we're going to probably be able to get a left-sided winger to compete with Hansen, who's 76 rated, like Morgan Whittaker. So I think we're going to make do there for now. We still want a right winger to compete with Sen, because we've got nobody. We've got no left winger yet, a left back to compete with Bangura yet. And I do think we need a pacier centre back and possibly a striker. So we're still looking. We're still desperately trying to hope the scouts deliver with what we need. At the minute, nothing is coming through that's all that exciting. So we're going to just have to hold tight and hopefully keep trying to find the answers and see how we go with the pre-season tournament, which hasn't exactly started well.
The referee brings this contest to an end. All square here in what was a thoroughly...
So the second game of pre-season is complete, and it was a 1-1 draw against Osasuna. Kali Sen got us in front, following an assist from our new right-back, whose name escapes me, Chichoa, I think it is. And then we give away a late equaliser. Annoyingly, Becker, that man there, nicked the ball off of Malanda on the edge of our own box. It was a stupid goal to concede, and we did again struggle, I think, with pace in the defence, with some of their attackers just literally sprinting straight through us. So that is becoming a more pressing issue, which is why I like to play these pre-season friendlies, to just get a feel of the team. And yeah, pace in the middle of defence is looking like it could be a potential problem. So still winless in pre-season, not quite clicking going forward, and defensively a little bit all over the place. Our midfield's not being great either. So yeah, things haven't exactly been great this summer so far.
And there it is, the final whistle, and the fans will be leaving the stadium with smiles on their faces.
It was a real hard...
So luckily we've won our third pre-season friendly by 1-0, beating Valencia. It was Sonjay Hansen with the goal. Then we defended much better than what we have been. But I don't think we've progressed, unfortunately, because the next fixture we've got is Manchester City. We've had no emails to say if we've got any money from that tournament, or maybe this is it. But we didn't, unfortunately, continue on. And, well, we've not won any money from it either. So it was a valiant effort, but it certainly gave me good food for thought in terms of what we need going into the season. We've got 12 days to go until the opening day of the season. We've only got 15 million to spend because half of our money is lost, which is going to really cripple what we can do. We're just hoping for some email soon that will tell us that we are going to have enough money to basically finish off the business, but we are tied with one hand behind our back at the moment. So we're going to press on up until the Manchester City game. If there is any updates, I'll let you know. If we can get any deals done, I'll let you know. And then, before we head into the season, we'll have one last look at the manager market to see what the world is looking like heading into the new season. There he is, look, player of the match for our new goalkeeper, which is good. And if we can get any deals done before then, we will. Hopefully we can find that missing 14 million. So we've received an offer for Aidan Morris from Bournemouth. Laughable, really, 13.9 million. I mean, it just shows you how valuable some of our players are becoming. Up to 24.9 million. We are blocking that, of course. That is going absolutely nowhere. So I'm thinking where we're struggling at the moment with players that we've scouted. We've had plenty of players come through. I mean, Jurasek from Norwich looks decent. Maybe not quite as quick as I would like. 9 million potential. I was hoping Oscar Bob would be a lot better, but his stats don't look as good either as what I was hoping they would. They're not bad by any stretch, but yeah, his wage also is quite high. There's a couple of players we've looked at. Paredes is another one from Wolfsburg, but it looks a little bit on the expensive side. And I want a right footer on the right side more than anything. I keep coming back to him. We've looked at him. We've looked at both, to be honest. Fatawu is a lot younger, therefore a lot more expensive. We would have the money if we didn't have the issues with the bank, but 21 million I think is too much for us anyway. This is someone who's going to compete with Kali Sen, and I think Steffi Mavididi could be that player. He is 28, so he is a little bit older, but we could get him for only 4 million, and he's 75 rated. I don't think that's bad. He's 86 pace, 72 shooting, not bad. We'd convert him to a right winger. I know he's left winger now, but we've converted Morgan Whittaker to a left winger. It only took 2 weeks from one side to the other. So that could work. I mean, he's really quick. He's got good jumping. His agility and balance and strength, all mid-70s. I think he's a solid player. And he's rapid. The sort of player we like. So I think 4.6 million. We look to get Steffi Mavididi in. Literally, he is one of the few players that I think fits what we want. And with obviously the money that we don't have available at the moment, we can only sort of spend bits here and there. So let's have a little look then. Mavididi, 5 million off I think it was towards the bottom end of 4 million, wasn't it? That we could maybe get him for. You know, I won't insult them. Just to play it safe, we'll hit his market value. And yeah, they're happy with that. So once again, I think we probably could have gotten him for a bit less. But this is another player to just raise the floor of the squad. 35.5 million is what he's on. That's not too bad either. That's not too difficult to compete with, really. It's in and around the ballpark as to where we are currently. Because Sen and Hansen are the only two who've scored in pre-season for us. They fit our system perfectly. And I think we'd find it very difficult to upgrade both. One's crucial. We're in a similar position as to what we are with Onyeka, really. We'll try and soften him up. See if he will go lower to an important player. No, guaranteed starter. Well, we can't guarantee that he will be behind Kali Sen, but we will have to try and play him as much as we can. 3-year deal takes him to 31. That's fine with me. No release clause. And this is where hopefully things have gone quite nicely so far. We'll offer him what he's on now. And 600,000 signing on bonus has been quite a sweet spot so far. So we will see if he's happy with that. And he is. So there we go. Steffi Mavididi will join us. A player we've looked at. Him and Fatawa were the two we've looked at for a while. But yeah, Fatawa is upwards of 20 plus million. And we do not know when this banking issue is going to be fixed with the football club. So we can only work with what we've got. And here he is. Another technically upgrade on what we already have. Kali Sen, I think 73 rated. So we are raising the floor of the team from one position to another. Annoyingly, when I've been playing the pre-season games as well, by the way, the font is still the EFL Championship font, which I hope is not still there when we play in the Premier League, because that will just kill the realism if we're not playing with the Premier League font numbering on the shirts. But Steffi Mavididi joins, 75 rated. Joins Cali Sen on the right-hand side. Could have got him for a bit less, but I think we've done pretty well there, all in all. And we will quickly jump into the squad hub. Find Steffi Mavididi. And I think he was number 10 at Leicester, to be fair. And that is available. So, you know what? He's the upgrade on Delano Burgzorg, you could say. And we will quickly do what we did with Morgan Whittaker. If we can, hopefully it will take only a few weeks. I mean, it did for Whittaker. We will swap him to a right winger. 2 weeks. Awesome. That's exactly what we're looking for. So Steffi Mavididi is through the door. And I think what we're sort of looking at now, I'm looking at a striker with potentially more pace. I think Marcus Forss may leave, if I'm honest. We need a left back. I've not seen a single left back that's took my fancy as yet, and I'm wanting more pace in the centre of defence. Right back, Chichar's been great so far, so I'm really happy with that. I think midfield, we're absolutely fine in the centre of midfield. 2 good options on the left. Probably need another option. 2 good options on the right, should I say, with Mavididi moving over. Hansen is on the left. Morgan Pearce, we don't want to block his route into the team either, so I'm happy to keep him there as sort of competition. But yeah, maybe a more pacier striker. And yeah, we'll see where else we can improve. So I think we've done well with the budget though so far. We've bought pretty on the cheaper side of things, but I think we've managed to still save money. And of course, we don't know when we're going to be getting some of this back. So 10 million is the current budget. And yeah, I don't know how much of that is what's available to us and how much of it is now stuck in the bank. So we're going to have to just play it by ear and keep looking around and look for the right player. But 5 days out from the start of the Premier League season, we'll have one more look at the scout reports. I think we're pretty much there. We may have found our possible centre-back, and I really like the look of this one. All of our centre-backs currently are pretty slow, and that's something we've struggled with in pre-season. Lenihan, 32. You'll see his pace, 64. Fry, centre-back, brilliant in the air, but 64. Alfie Jones alongside him, 65. Malander, 66. And Malander actually feels a lot quicker than the others, but still a lack of pace in the centre of defence. However, we have come across a fairly exciting looking centre-back. I think he's from... Is it Inter? It might be Inter Milan, I'm not sure. The team who've just basically won the lot, though, in Europe, the domestic double, which they did last season. 79 pace, very good defending, 76, 78, plus but defender, plus ball-playing defender, plus wide back. He's 84 sprint speed, 89 jumping, 81 strength. He's 6'5". He looks like an absolute beast, and we could get him for 10.7 million. It's almost everything that we've got left that's available to us at the moment. Obviously, I'm hoping we'll have more money available to us soon anyway, so it won't affect how much of this deal we can get done. So we'll try and see what we can do. 10.7 is what we might be able to get out of him, and that might be what we need to actually buy him for, because I don't know how much money is available to us. If we didn't have that banking issue, we'd have got him in no problem. We'd have had the room to do it. Yeah, just over 10 million is what we've got. That's so bloody annoying. I've got a feeling we're not going to quite be able to do this. We'll start with 10. Is there anyone we can drop in to sweeten the deal? Is there a chance they might want Darrell Lenihan? I can't see it in a month of Sundays. This might just send the tension meter. Okay, 11.4. See, we could do that if we had the bloody money. But we just don't. he's probably someone we might have to wait for. We just need the money to come back in. And obviously we can't get money from player sales. So it's just... We are so hamstrung at the moment with everything that's happened with these unexpected events. We could absolutely chuck up the sell on. But I think this is going to be a case of us maybe having to come back in. Because he's 25, there's every chance we could sell him on for more. He's got plenty of potential, I'm sure. Yeah, they're not going to like that, are they? 13.5. We want him. We will come back in for him. But the club need to sort out the issues behind the scenes financially before we can pretty much do anything at the moment. It's so bloody frustrating. It really is. Our number one centre-back target's going to have to wait. And that might be all we can do, guys, for the time being, because we are 2 days out from the opening day. The Premier League season is finally here. Can I honestly say I feel prepared, I feel ready? Not really. We have upgraded in some decent areas, though. You know, it is worth mentioning that. A couple of players we've looked at here. Yeah, a couple on paper have looked good, but he's not bad, to be fair. Not a bad striker. I want a bit of pace up front if possible. 82 pace isn't bad. So, yeah, I do like the look of Mattia Freegan. Please don't go anywhere, Bisek. Please don't go anywhere. We want you, but we need the club to sort things out. So I'll have a little look at these updated scout reports, guys, and then I think we're here. So, guys, we are officially here then. Everything is updated. We've done all the business we can at the moment. We are going to have to head into the Premier League season with what we've got, which is okay. I think it'll be okay. Only time will tell. But it's been a tough pre-season. 1 win in 3 games. Yeah, there's definitely areas to improve and areas where the squad, I think, has to improve as well. But we've got a good-looking youth academy as well. Helland is someone I'm very much looking forward to using and could be someone we might bring in pretty quickly, to be fair. He looks an absolute beast. But before we delve deep into our first game in the next episode, let's take one last look. Actually, let's take a look at our objectives. We've not done that yet. So, avoid relegation is the first goal, the very high one, to just stay up, which does not surprise me at all. The round of 16 in the FA Cup, again, is the same goal as last season. You'd like to think as a Premier League club we would be able to do that. And within 2 seasons, they want us to be a mid-table championship club. So this season we stay up, next season, mid-table. So but they want us to establish ourselves fairly quickly in the Premier League. Let's take a look then at what's happened. There's already some crazy names there. Oh my days. Right. Let's see who's managing in the Premier League then. So, Bournemouth are the same. Vincent Kompany has replaced Mikel Arteta. Has he been sacked? Maybe. Antonio Conte manages Aston Villa. He's replaced Unai Emery. Absolute scenes. Pep's gone. Pep Guardiola has left Man City. Luis Enrique is in charge. Oh, they said the manager market wouldn't let us down. They've got PSG's manager. That's a cracker. Eddie Howe is still in charge of Newcastle. Postecoglou is still in charge of Nottingham Forest. Everything else is as is. Reggie the Brees might lose his job at Sunderland. Wow. And Maresca's job's at stake. I'm not surprised when they finished 7th last season. It's very unlike Chelsea that they've not actually sacked him already, to be honest. Let's see if anything else has happened then. So in the world of the transfer window, PSG have sold Mendes to Atletico for 123 million. Gvardiol's gone to PSG for that. I wonder if Pep's gone to PSG. I wonder if they've swapped. Moise Keane's gone to Villa. Frimpong's left Liverpool to go to Leverkusen. Cucurella's gone to AC Milan, I believe that is. Lewis Hall's gone to Roma. Yoro's gone to Dortmund. Endrick's gone to Liverpool. That's interesting. White's gone to Atalanta, I think that is. Semenya's gone to Sevilla. What a waste. Rudiger's back in the Premier League. He's gone to Arsenal. Any others that stand out? Hudson-Odoi has gone to Getafe. Van Bissaka has gone to Nice. So yeah, no huge standout, mental signings. We're actually up there, one of the highest ones there with Chachoa. I think it's Chachoa, who's obviously joined us for £17.5 million. So yeah, nothing too crazy as yet. Let's see what's happening in the world of managers then. So I think PSG might have hired a woman, Patricia Moreno. That might be PSG's men. I assume it is. That's very interesting. There's Enrique going to Man City. Mikel Arteta's gone to Girona. Okay, he's gone back to Spain. Was he sacked from Arsenal and he's went back to his home country? Maybe. Diego Simeone has finally left Atletico Madrid. Wonder where he's ended up. Any other big ones? We obviously heard of Antonio Conte, didn't we? Wow, there we go. So Simeone has gone to Betis. Guardiola's gone to Atletico Madrid, replacing Simeone, and Vincent Kompany is at Arsenal. That's cool, by the way. Patricia Moreno going to PSG. That's really interesting. I assume it's PSG's men. I mean, why wouldn't it be? It would be silly if not. So that's what's happening in the world of the manager market, in the world of the Champions League at the moment. It won't let me view the Championship for some reason. It keeps flicking me down into League One. I was going to see if there was any changes down there. But I think, guys, that is where we are going to leave it. So, in the next episode, we will begin against Luis Enrique's Manchester City at the Etihad. We probably couldn't have picked many tougher opening games to start our Premier League return. And we will, like we normally do, we'll try and squeeze 3 games into the next episode. However, we're going to be doing it a little bit differently because we will get the 2 Premier League games in. They're 2 pretty exciting ones, of course, with City and Newcastle in the opening 2 games. 2 massive games and 2 very tough games as well. But the 3rd game is going to be in the Rush Youth Tournament because I want to get playing back once again with our Youth Academy. We've not done it in quite a while now. It's how we discovered Morgan Pearce. It's how we discovered Callum Brooks. I wanted to give a couple of these youngsters a try because we've got some cracking youngsters in the team. Some that are obviously old names who've been there since the start. Some who are new and look like absolute beasts. I think he'll be coming into the team pretty darn quickly, if I'm honest. So we'll be doing 2 games in the Premier League. We'll be doing the start of the Youth Academy tournament to see how some of these youngsters feel. And obviously, anything else that happens in the transfer market where hopefully the club can sort out the issues we've got financially and we can finish the business because, as I say, we can't sell anybody and get money and half the money is lost with the bank. It's absolutely mental what has happened so far in this summer transfer window. So if you've enjoyed this video, it probably has been a bit of a longer one. Let me know in the comments with your thoughts. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's the big news there. That is pretty darn awesome. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe for more. Hit the bell too so you never miss a single episode of Season 2. And we'll be back for our Premier League debut at the Etihad. I'll see you guys in the next one.